Hi, welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Valentine's is on the way, and one of the subscribers, Stefania, I hope I've got your name right, wrote to me and said, could I make the Nutella star bread in a heart shape? Well, I've had a go and I think it's come out pretty damn good. So come on, let me show you how we make this Nutella love heart. We are making an enriched dough and I'm going to be using my hands to mix it. You can use a stand mixer, but I urge you to give it a try. Now down here I've got a pound or 450 grams. This is bread flour. It is ideal to use a bread flour. You could use all-purpose flour, but bread flour gives you better structure. Now into our flour we're going to add 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. On this side of the bowl I'm going to put a pinch of salt, and away from the salt I've got 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. I have a little bit of lightly salted butter here, 2 ounces, about 50 grams, pop that in there as well. A cup of whole milk, which I've warmed slightly, so it's just warm to the touch. We'll just pour that in. And I'm going to add in 2 egg yolks. Now I'm going to keep the whites as well, so I'll just crack them over here. We'll just keep the whites in a separate little bowl and pop the egg yolks into our mix. So that's 2 egg yolks. And we start drawing our flour and our liquids together. Use a fork to start with, just to keep your hands clean. Now as it starts to bind together, we just pull the fork out of there. Now we can get our hands in and start to draw this into a nice dough. Now that dough should start coming away from the side of the bowl. I'm just going to pop it out onto our counter. And now a little bit of work. We're just going to stretch and knead this dough out for about 10 minutes until it becomes smooth and elasticy. Now you will find this dough is quite sticky to start with, but don't worry about that. As you work it, it'll start to come together. Now if you've got a little scraper, just pull it off of the counter every now and again and just continue to work it. Now take a little while to enjoy mixing your dough. You can actually stretch it out on the counter, fold it over, work those glutens. And this is why I say do it by hand, because it's so much more fun and you get to feel the texture. Now just take a look, that's 10 minutes now, and look how wonderful and silky that dough has become. It's got a lovely spring back to it. What we want to do now is just take our bowl back, drop about a tablespoon of oil into there, take your dough and just coat it with the oil. And we just want to cover that over with some plastic wrap, and we're just going to pop this in a warm area until it's doubled in size. Now that dough is pushing up the wrap. Let's get this uncovered. You'll see that the dough is risen beautifully. Look at that. The air in that now is wonderful. We're just going to knock it down a little bit, bring it out onto our countertop. I'm just forming this dough up into a ball a little bit, getting some tension on there. Now what we need to do is pop a little bit of flour on our counter. And what I want to do is take a rolling pin, dust the rolling pin with a little flour, and we are going to ease this dough out to an oblong. I want something about 20 inches by 10 inches. Now because this is a bread dough and it's got lots of gluten in it, it's not going to want to cooperate, so you're just going to have to tease it out slowly, let it rest and continue to roll. Now just be patient, ease this out gently until you've got the size that you want. So now let's get our filling on here. Now I am going for Nutella because that's the one that was requested, but you could use jam or you could use lemon curd in here. We're going to take our Nutella and just pour it onto the center of here, and just using a cranked spatula I'm going to spread it. Now we don't want to go right up to the edge. You want to leave a little bit around the edge for sealing our dough. Now get that nice and evenly coated, and then take the egg white from your couple of eggs. I've added a little water in with that as well, and I'm just going to brush a little egg white along this far edge. This is just going to help to seal it. And then what we're just going to do is roll this up a little bit at a time. Just roll it over, be patient. When I get near the end, I'm just going to pull and seal the end of the pastry together. And we've got this wonderful sweet pastry roll. So now let's bring a baking tray. And what I want you to do is just lift this, just ease this on to your baking tray. We're going to put the seam side down, and then we're going to shape this into a heart. So pull the end of your bread dough down. We can seal this with a little bit of egg white in a moment. Just ease it out. A little bit of egg white on this joint down here to seal the dough together. Now on this end here, we're just going to bend it in a little bit to get our heart shape. Pull these corners out, Just gently ease them out without splitting the bread. Right, the next thing you're going to do is take some scissors, some kitchen scissors, and just lift these corners up. Now we're going to cut, but we're going to leave probably about ½ inch, ¼ inch towards the end. We're just going to snip this all the way through, and then come along with your scissors again, and probably about ½ inch further along, and we're just going to snip it again. And we're just going to continue all the way around the outside of our heart. That's what you're looking for. What we're going to do now, if you can, is to slightly just angle these back. So you lift each of these up, just stretch the dough out a little bit, and just lay them back at a little bit of an angle. Now just tease it into shape and then pop it down. We need to leave this somewhere for about 20 minutes to 40 minutes just to rise again, but I'm going to cover it with a damp cloth, pop it down somewhere warm, and then we're going to pop this in the oven. Now I've got my egg white, a little bit of water whipped up here. I've put my oven on to 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, just to preheat it. Now come down here and have a look. This has started to puff up. It's been about 20 minutes or so. What we're going to do is just take the egg white and just brush it over before this goes in the oven. Now when it comes out of the oven, I'm going to brush it over with a little bit of sugar water to give it a nice glaze. We are going to bake that for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now my oven's a bit fierce, so towards the end, when it gets too brown, just cover it with some foil and let it continue to cook through. Now look at that, that has just come out of the oven. It's looking absolutely beautiful. We need it to cool down, but before we do, I've just mixed a little bit of syrup and water. You can use sugar and water, and this is optional, but I'm going to paint it on while it's still hot, just to give a nice sticky glaze to our Nutella bread. Now when you look at that, I'm really pleased with the way that's come out. So Stefania, thank you for egging me on to make this one this week. It's a Nutella heart-shaped brioche tear and share, whatever you want to call it. If you make this, share some pictures across. I might even dust this with a little bit of icing sugar to see what it looks like. I'll put some pictures up as well. Other people have done that, and that looks good as well. It smells fantastic. Please share the love, give this one the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, if you've baked this, you know the house smells fantastic now, and I'd love to eat this, but I'm going to save it for some friends and family. We'll have it a little bit later on. I'll leave some links, some other videos up there, and as always, I love to hear your comments. Take care, and see you next time.